Creator, Episode 8, How to Respond Appropriately. One of my quotes: your ability to appropriately respond to stress and fear could either destroy you or save you. Again, your ability to appropriately respond to stress and fear could either destroy you or save you. It's true, your response to a situation will ultimately determine if you will be carried out or walk out. I remember when I was a kid and we went to the beach, and it was during the holiday, and I believe it was Memorial Day possibly. And I was in the water along with the other kids, but I couldn't swim. I didn't know how to swim. But I would go on the shoreline of the water and go up to my knees and my waist. And I recognized other kids who were my size, and they had rafts and tubes, and they would go out further into the water, and they would jump on their raft or tube, and then they would ride the wave back onto the shoreline. And I saw this one kid, and he promised to let me ride his tube. And I kept badgering him to say, come on, it's time. And he was having fun, riding it. And he finally gave it to me. And I wanted to make a big splash, so I kept walking. I walked in the water, and I wanted to do a really nice wave, catch a really nice wave. And as I began to walk, it seemed like the water got lower, so I was able to walk further out. And before I knew it, I felt sand like being removed from under my feet. And I was like, wow, I never felt this before. And all of a sudden, waves just came and boom, it crashed over my head. Now at that moment, I could have panicked and possibly drowned because I was far out into the ocean above my head when the waves and the water returned to its natural level. And I guess it's called the undercurrent, when you can feel the pressure on the bottom of your feet and the lower extremities of your body. It pulls you further out. And I had a decision. I calmed myself down, and as the wave began to crash over me, I noticed that there was a lull of no waves. So I took a couple steps, and then another wave would come over me. And after it went away, I took another 2 steps. And before I knew it, I had walked far enough inland until the waves and the water was below my chest. I said that to say this: if you don't panic, you can do many great things, but it's your response. You should never react quickly. There have been times in my life, as I look back over it, certain situations where people tried to get me to answer or give a response quickly. And on each occasion, it seems like the person's motivation was an attempt to deceive me. But because I did not respond immediately, I was able to save myself from having a misstep or being hateful towards a person who had deceived me, and I would have felt like they forced me to do it. But no one is forcing us to do anything. We have to respond appropriately, and we can cultivate it. Now, presently in your subconscious mind, it's a program. It has a program on how you respond to a situation based on your past responses and your dilemma or just your history. If you are unhappy with how you respond, you must now begin to rewrite a new program for your subconscious mind, because now it's just reacting on those things that you had once before reacted in a certain way, and you constantly and perpetually will always react that way, whether it's negative or what have you. And we're talking about a negative response right now. It will always be that way until you do something differently to influence your subconscious mind. You can do this by increasing your conscious awareness. How do you feel? Ask yourself a question. How do you feel? Where do you feel it? What's your body's response to stress and fear? Ask yourself. Here's an example. Sometimes when a person is faced with a stressful situation or fear, their body produces a response, such as a rapid heartbeat, perspiration, sweaty palms, eye twitching, stuttering, etc. You must now be in tune to the precedent of what happens within your body before that build up to stress, that build up to fearful situations. There's this technique called mindfulness. Now, an example of mindfulness, you could take, for instance, your favorite candy bar. Close your eyes, and before you open the wrapper, consciously feel, be in the present moment, feel the candy in your hands while it's in the wrapper. What does the wrapper feel like? What's the texture, the feeling of the wrapper? What sounds does it make in your hands as you touch the packaging and feel the packaging that your candy is in? Then open the wrapper while paying attention to the sounds and the smell of the candy. What does the candy feel like in your hands after you open the wrapper? What does it feel like as you place it in your mouth and begin to chew? This is becoming more conscious and really experiencing what you're doing, being in the present moment. This process helps slow you down so you can experience a richer, fuller, and more consciously aware life. Far too often we eat our favorite foods and don't even remember how it even tastes because we are always rushing off to do something else. We're consciously seeming as though we're in a time crunch. You know, even when you're at work, you're oftentimes rushing to eat and to get back to work, or in traffic, you're rushing to get home so you could possibly do more chores or whatever you need to do when you get home. But we're not really experiencing life. We don't see the colors. We don't see the trees. We don't see whatever we can see that are possibly some beautiful sights that we overlook, and we don't get to feel that richness. Slow down and fully participate and experience your life. This is the only life you have, but we must make it a joyful thing. Think, what are your choices when it comes to making a decision or your response to something? What are the ramifications of your choices? There will always be more than one choice. Always. Before you respond, you should take those into account. You should always stop and think before you respond. Some things, it will happen more quickly. So you must practice so it becomes more easy as you're faced with decisions. I remember growing up and hearing, when I was a kid, hearing my great aunt's husband, he often said on numerous occasions, he would say, trouble is easy to get into, but hard to get out. You can sometimes make a snap-second judgment or decision that could cost you a lot. It could cost you friendships. It could cause something really serious happening that could even injure another person or have yourself injured. So I always remember that it's easy sometimes to make the wrong decision. It takes more practice and preparation to make a good decision and a good response. Some things simply don't require a response, but you must choose things that require a response. Begin the practice of picturing yourself making right decisions and responding appropriately to every situation. This picture will get into your subconscious mind and yield great results and the results that you truly want. But you must practice it. Feel yourself making right decisions and how good you feel about making good choices and responding appropriately. You can practice this every day, getting a picture, cultivating that picture over and over again. And this will help to influence your subconscious mind. And we know our subconscious mind is impulsive and it will bring forth the results. In addition, begin acting, behaving as if you always respond appropriately in every situation you're faced with. Become an actor. Act. Take on that zeal within yourself that you always make right decisions. This will influence your subconscious mind. Everything you do, you want to be consciously aware that you're trying to influence your subconscious mind in everything. So it takes good habits. These things will help to influence, no doubt. And once something has been impressed upon the subconscious mind, it will bring forth your desired results. There's this quote, Orson Sweet Martin, he said, "It is a psychological law that whatever we desire to accomplish, we must impress upon the subjective or subconscious mind." Whatever we desire, that's what we need to impress upon our subjective or subconscious mind. There's another quote, Catherine Ponder. She said, "We can have anything we mentally accept. But if we can't accept it mentally, we can't get it, no matter what we do." We must impress upon the subconscious mind, and we must mentally accept what we want. That's the difficulty, because we are accustomed to doing something one way, and change, it can be difficult, but that should not deter you from going on the journey of change. You don't want to be stuck in a place through fear. What do you have to lose? Just try. If you fail, try again. You can never be a failure at something until you quit. That remains within you. You can cultivate that fortitude of having a don't quit attitude. And these tools you can begin utilizing today in order to help create your new mind.